opening up the keyhole and just looking outside. I'm like, no. So then you get into the whole industry of like adult film. Was it what you expected doing your first scene? So you had me doing moonsaults off the top rope.
Oh my God.
I have implants.
I feel like I know of it somewhere. Why?
Why not?
I mean, I thought about it for a long while before I did it. I mean, I got a lot of uproar from the whole industry, but who are they to judge me?
Yeah, I mean, what are they?
They can all go to hell. They don't pay my bills.
No, you got a point.
And that's that.
Hello, happy Monday, everyone. Okay, just have to say, I tried this protein drink. It tastes like medicine. I have no idea what it is. They always say stuff about plant protein and everything. And I remember a few years ago when my friend was on this strict plant protein diet, she ended up in the hospital. And it's supposed to be extremely healthy. And that's the other thing. When you come into things like Impossible Burger, and I'm not knocking anyone's food choices, right? Impossible Burger is supposed to taste like a real hamburger. So if it's supposed to taste like a real hamburger, what does that say about real meat? It actually tastes pretty good. You have all these things out there that are trying to imitate it. I also heard that there is animal product in Impossible Burgers. Hi, everyone. Hey, John Jay. Hey, Mike. How are you? Hi, Paul. Hi, Scott. I know I was supposed to get a few things out that people won at the last episode, some programs and photos. So if you don't mind shooting me or DMing me in Instagram your addresses, I know that Michael Doherty was supposed to get a JCW program. So if you can just send that to me so I don't forget this week. We're off to a slow start today. Hey, John, I'm glad you guys got it. Nothing better than a good cheeseburger deluxe in Brooklyn. Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. There's nothing better than a cheeseburger deluxe in New York City because they honestly do make the best. They really do. Like I think they do. And cheeseburger deluxe is to die for because you get the fries, you get the coleslaw on the side, maybe a pickle, and the best cheeseburger in the world, which reminds me. Now I feel like having a cheeseburger deluxe from a deli because of that. That's like my goal, I think, tonight is to have a cheeseburger deluxe with fries and a coleslaw and maybe an egg cream or a cherry Coke. I don't know. How is everyone outside in a virtual world today? Is everyone having a good Monday? Are we having a bad week? So can't have a bad week. It's only Monday. Jesus. So I'm researching all these places in Florida of where the least amount of hurricanes are, or which places don't get impacted the worst by hurricanes. So one of them is the Villages in Orlando. Do any of you know about the Villages in Orlando? So it is age restricted, which is great. It's 55 and up. And secondly, it is also, if you wear a pineapple upside down, that means you're a swinger. So that's pretty gross. I mean, I don't think that's the ultimate place to be doing that type of activity. Thank you for putting together the reels from JCW this Friday. It was so late, like getting there at 7 or 8 in the evening and then waiting there till midnight for a midnight show. My God, it was tiring but fun. Yes, Northern Florida. I don't know what is Northern Florida exactly? Gainesville, near Georgia, or whatever. But anyway, returning guest. Hi, Jamal. How are you this Monday? I've been liking your Instagram post as of late with Ava Devine and all these other great girls. My next guest we've had on the show a zillion times because he's just a great guest. And I think he appeals to men, straight men, by the way. Oh, and by the way, real quick, actually, I'll just wait till Vic gets on because this is a really funny story. I've been getting harassed by a Marcus Dupree on TikTok, so I haven't been checking messages on there. He's an African-American man who's a football player now, who's now harassing me, telling me he doesn't like what Vic said about him. I'm a stand-up, respectable man. Okay, well, if you're a stand-up, respectable man, why are you talking to me on here? And I don't know if it's a syphilis guy. I have no clue what his problem was, but I basically, like, I normally I just block people if they're just annoying, but I just have to I want to see what else he has to say. I don't know who Marcus Dupree is. I remember this story once with Vic. Someone out here is saying that he's a syphilis guy and he has erectile dysfunction. So yeah, I guess those are two, but we didn't discuss any of those things. Anyway, let me bring Vic to the stage, and I'm sorry. This new StreamYard layout does not make me like the duck anymore in StreamYard. I used to be obsessed by the duck and thought he was great, but that duck, he, she, whatever the fuck, is not my friend. There you are.
Hello. How are you? I wore a shirt for you today. I dressed up nicely for you, Jasmine.
Oh, thanks. And I'm in my gym shirt, like my aloe shirt, because they make expensive things, but I have to tell you, like, it's the bomb. Hey, I got to ask you, first of all, how is your mental health?
Good. I was going to ask you the same thing, but you beat me to the punch. I'm doing great. It's been a summer of healing and figuring shit out, and I'm doing great. So hello, everyone. I see you all saying hi. I like seeing the usual suspects. How is everyone?
How's everyone's mental health is the question. Vic, I gotta ask.
How's yours?
It's freaking amazing. Why is this man who's an alleged football player now named, is Marcus Dupree African American or what?
Okay, let's clear something up. We are not talking about the black Marcus Dupree. The black Marcus Dupree needs to chill the fuck out because it is not about him. We're talking about the white Russian Marcus Dupree, who was a male performer that I am very fond of and was the best performer I ever shot. So black Marcus Dupree, hey man, sorry, but leave this conversation because it's not about you. It really isn't.
Unless he found it was a way to get to, like, an excuse to speak to me, to say something. I will tell him to chill the F out. It is not you. We're talking about a white Russian Marcus Dupree. Are you a white Russian man? That's what
yeah. Just say it's the white Marcus Dupree, okay? And then that'll be the end of that.
I'm speaking about?
You know, it's funny, when I searched like Marcus Dupree, he did come up. The black Marcus Dupree came up. So I was like, oh, is that like where the white Marcus Dupree got his name from, the black Marcus Dupree? Like, I was trying to figure it all out. But hey, no disrespect, black Marcus Dupree. We're talking about the white Marcus Dupree. Okay?
Yeah. So please don't get like every single African American group against me saying that I'm racist, because I just have a feeling that's going to be next. And I'm not racist. So I'm racist against people that are just annoying. Is that right to say?
No, they're just annoying. Race has nothing to do with it. They're just annoying. A Chinese person can be annoying. A black person can be annoying. A Jewish person can be annoying. So yeah, it's just annoying. That's all it is.
Like a Jewish aunt. Okay, first of all, my thoughts, and I have to bring this up before we get into our deep dive topics today. The Sydney Sweeney jeans ad. Number one, you've got nothing on Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields is the queen of jean ads, hands down. That one sexy ad she did back in the 80s, nothing comes between me and my Calvin Klein jeans. But I get it. I still feel that it's PR manufactured. I feel as though her publicist, or American Eagle's publicist, went out there and started spreading this rumor. Oh my God, people are just really offended because they think we're Nazis and we're racist because it says I have good genes. That's what I think, because there's no way in hell people on the left and woke people like the crazies are so offended.
All I can say is they did one hell of a successful marketing campaign, because everyone is talking about it. And when you have the left losing their shit, you are on the right track, because all it does is just blow it up. That's all that happens. So kudos to Sydney Sweeney. Kudos to, American Eagle? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to buy their fucking jeans, but I'll tell you, respect for what they just did because they made everyone go Meshuggah.
I don't know if I like the jeans she was wearing though, because those are those big bulgy ones. I like the tight jeans, like the G-Star Raw, and I wish G-Star Raw would use girls with like really nice bodies that look like biological females in their ads, because I look at their ads, I'm like, I don't identify with that body type. I definitely do not identify with that. What is that? Is that even a woman? So I'm having a really hard time these days as far as mental health connecting with consumer ads. I feel excluded, you know? And just the other night, I worked at a wrestling show and some guy told me to get my fat ass out of the ring. I thought that was like truly offensive. And it's the same guy that's standing there giving me a look when I'm going to the ring. And then you have this other woman looking at my legs. I'm like, okay, you told me I'm fat, but you're there staring at me. You're the one that's fat, which is fine. But I don't know, like not every guy wants the huge ass and the huge hips. Not all of us are built like that, right? So I feel discriminated against. I really feel like there's discrimination against people under 105 pounds.
Yeah, I guess they don't like the petite thing. But I don't know. You know what? I've been in a situation where I no longer give a fuck what anyone thinks. Like, except for maybe like 2 handfuls of people in this world. I think you are good at leaning into the heel side of things. I am embracing being a porn heel these days and getting people like, you know, getting people crazy on Twitter is becoming a sport. And you know how I know I'm successful at it is how quickly after the engagement starts that they block me. Because it happened yesterday, like inside 10 minutes. And I mean, and my blood pressure never even broke 110. You know, totally calm. But like these like leftist lunatics lose their shit so easily, and they don't have the ability to engage someone intelligently. Like if you don't believe them, they go nuts and then they run away and then they block. Like they can't handle it. It's quite fun actually. So I'm really enjoying being a porn heel these days. I really am.
You just gave me an idea. I'm ready to post on Twitter.
Okay.
We can see the engagement. Therapy is supposed to help people, but nowadays it seems like it creates more victims.
Yeah, look, I don't get it anymore. You know, the Gen Zs have like pretty much ruined everything because they're so sensitive. And to be honest with you, it's our generation's fault because our generation, well, okay, I can't take blame personally because I don't have kids, but our generation raised these puss cakes. They did because we were told like, okay, I caught a couple beatings as a child when I got out of line. And guess what? I snapped too. All right. And there was a time where I was like a skinny little bitch before I like started working out and I got big. Okay. Don't react like that. But what I'm saying is, you know, you get bullied, you get pushed, and you have 2 choices: take the shit or learn to fight back. And I went for option B. So nowadays you can't have that. Like you can't bully people because they're sensitive and they can't deal with it. And so they have to have all of this therapy. But it's our generation's fault because we raise these puss bags. Now, there is a glimmer of hope, okay? The generation after, Generation Alpha, which I think is aptly named, okay? They are looking at the Gen Zs and being like, wow, these older people are such pussies. So we need to do better. We need to do better. So that's, I have hope. I have hope that our generation ahead of them, after the Gen Zs, are going to be better, and they're gonna save our country, and save ourselves. I do. I'm hopeful.
I can't see you being skinny and like, I'm sorry.
I was.
No.
I was like literally a waif. I had crooked teeth. I've got a picture somewhere, but the truth is like I didn't start growing until like later in high school. And I really didn't start getting big until I started working out. And because I was like skinny, I was a target. And you know, there's only so much a dude can take before they're like, fuck this, and they fight back. And that's exactly what happened. So, the bullies made me tougher. They defined my character. And because of that, you know what? I say tough love is okay. And I think it needs to come back, because otherwise you raise a generation of pussies. That's what happens.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I think it's our generation that did fuck these kids up. And that's why everything, oh my God, you have sensitivity traits, and you have to have, you can't say that. You can't use that language here. I could say whatever the fuck I want. I did call, okay. I was buying life insurance. You're like, oh God, Jasmine, what'd you do now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so I don't know if I should have done this or not.
Spill the tea.
The guy screwed up my name. He screwed up my last name, my SS number. He screwed up my beneficiary's information. Then he put in the wrong amount that I wanted to fund it. It's like a bunch of errors. So then I said, look, just leave it. Don't touch it. Don't touch anything. Okay? What does he do? He goes back in and touches things and fucks everything up. So I have to get his case manager on the phone. And at this point, he keeps texting. I'm like, dude, do not contact me. Go to AA or something. I called this boss. I said, look, I don't know if this guy is hitting the fucking bottle or what. Spell like names like New York with 2 Ks. And you put in my zip code as my street address, like the street part. You put my zip code in there and at the bottom. I don't know what kind of DEI hire you guys have going on there, but you need to fix this pamphlet, because I'm not down with DEI. You understand me? Well, you can't say that. I said, I just said it. You want to cancel my policy? Cancel my fucking policy. Please do me that favor. And no one will get a commission. Nobody gets anything. So I was calm after. They fixed the policy. Then they offered me a different agent to overinflate the policy. I have one of those universal life policies. It's more for retirement. And I said no. After the screw up by this retard, I don't think so. That I called him a retard. I don't understand why.
Well, retard has made a comeback. You can't call someone who is mentally disabled a retard. That is off the table. You can't do that. But you can say that's retarded. That's okay now. Like retard made a comeback. It did. So, and I'm grateful for it. But I don't say calling someone disabled or retard. That you don't do that. You still can't do that.
No,
okay, good.
Old man selling life insurance that couldn't spell my name properly. He didn't have my SS number in there. You screwed up my mom's information. Oh, and by the way, I told you to fund it for $3,600 every 6 months. When does $3,600 become $3,200?
Yeah.
He said, oh, I was busy working on a big deal. Okay, you're never going to get a big deal because you don't take care of the small things,
Right.
Anyway, how's everything with you? It seems like you've been a hot cannon lately. What is going on with you?
Well, like I said, it's been a summer of healing. We're not going to really talk about the breakup because that's ancient history. We're going to talk about post-breakup and how I got through that and what came of it. And there was some good things that came of it. Now, look, I look back at that whole relationship and, I think one thing that definitely happened was I got complacent in that relationship. And, complacency can be unattractive. It can. I gained like 25 pounds during that relationship. Yeah. There's like this podcast that comes out that with this pretty blonde lady, and she releases every week. And I see these clips when I was like at my fattest, and I've got like a belly and I've got titties. And I'm just like, oh God, like that was just bad. So the first thing I had to do after the breakup was shed that weight. And now I am back to my fighting weight. Like I'm like ripped, I'm shredded. And when that comes back, your mojo comes back, but the relationship, I'll tell you, my confidence was shaken, because I looked at this person like they were my last, my everything. And to be so wrong really was just like, you really have to sit back and you've got to analyze and be like, wow, okay. But instead of hitting the bottle, instead of doing drugs, what I did was I felt that pain. and I learned from it, and I was growing from it. And sure, I had some vulnerable moments, as you always are going to post-breakup. But the truth is, you look at that and you channel into something. And what I channeled it into, which I think John mentioned, John J., was that, there was more that I needed to say about the porn industry and its silliness and its lunacy and its ridiculousness. And I'm looking at all these hard drives here. I literally have like 10 years of raw footage. And look, for the most part, when I shot, most things went according to plan. But there were times, or there were people, that I had some things to say. So I channeled all of that inner angst into these 1-minute videos that I've been posting on Instagram, on Twitter. It's going to be a matter of time before I'm booted off of Instagram, because I'm not playing by the rules. But yeah, they've gotten a lot of attention. The fucking industry hates me right now. They really do. And I'm all here for it. When I say porn heal, like, I love it. I love it. If you're getting upset and you engage me, like some of them have, all you're doing is helping me out. That's all that's happening. So it's happened a few times. Some, and we'll get into this in a little bit, got butthurt and they reported me. So those videos were taken down. So now I just have to put them in stories or just repost them. Yeah, it's gotten to that point. But this is not for the porn industry. It's for all of you. It's for the people that want to hear my story that are outside the porn industry. So that's what I've been doing. And, book sales have gone up. They're steady. Things are going well, The only thing is that I am going to eventually run out of milk from this cow, because there's going to be a point where there's not going to be any more stories to tell, because it's like, most of the time things went according to plan, and that's very boring. So I'm going to, at some point, the road of Vic Lagina is going to end. And, I'll just have to figure out what comes next.
Yeah, whatever it is, it will, fall into your lap. I can guarantee you that. Paul has a question. Does he have memories on Hulk Hogan and Ozzy Osbourne? Did you ever go to wrestling shows with Hogan or go to any Osbourne and Black Sabbath concerts?
I did not go to Osbourne or Black Sabbath concerts, but I did see, I think, WrestleMania maybe, or it was something WWF when it was back then in Philadelphia when I was probably 12 or 13 years old, somewhere around that time. And it was in the 80s, but I did a couple of posts on these shoots that we had to do that were parodies of WWE that never saw the light of day, because apparently Vince McMahon and his goons showed up on the doorstep of the head office in Canada, and squashed them. And they were like, oh, yeah, they were all set to release them, and they started promoting them, and they never released them because Mr. McMahon made them buckle.
Maybe he was jealous, Vic, that he didn't come up with that concept, because what I heard, Vince is you read those transcripts from his trial or these accusations, he likes being pooped on.
Yeah, I've heard he's got eclectic tastes. That's one thing I've heard about him. But yeah. So I've been digging out all these things and putting it all out there. And some people are getting butthurt and upset. But that just feeds me. If they get angry and they engage me, this is the one thing I just want to tell people. I'm pretty much a live and let live kind of person. And at home, away from the whole Vic Lagina persona, I'm a pretty quiet, chill guy, But this Vic Lagina side of me is that fucking asshole that literally does and says whatever he wants. And I at times enjoy it. I really do. And I don't start shit with people, but I am a counterpuncher. And if you hit me back after that, I hit back harder until both of us are fucking dead. That's how far I go when it comes to that. There was this one dude, his name is Ricky Johnson. He really should call himself Limpy Johnson, because he was a terrible performer. He was soft a lot of the times, but he was always forced upon me by the head office. And look, I made the best of it. And I did this video where I didn't even do anything. I literally, he's in this video. It was about my last shoot for Brazzers, and it was with Laura Jensen, who I like, and Ricky Johnson. And the only thing I said was, it just was my last shoot, and there was nothing memorable about it. And I actually gave him a compliment. I said, he was a nice guy. He's doing well for his brands. And I post it, and I tag him, expecting like, okay, nothing. It's going to be pretty benign. Well, he comes back to me, and this is where this whole shit starts. He says to me, yo, I never liked this guy. I never liked being on his sets. Keep your name out of my mouth, you keyboard warrior. And I'm like, oh, it's on. It's on. And like, if you go back to literally the days before July 4th and you check my Twitter feed and you look up Ricky Johnson, I think it's Ricky Behavior. All right. You see this whole back and forth that we did. And I basically went back at him. I said, you know what, man, I was as thrilled to have you on my set as you were to be on my set. You know, it's like, it was mutual. I said, the head office forced you on me. You weren't a very good performer. And at the end of it all, you know, look, it was what it was. And I said, but, you know, the thing I found interesting was when I was up at the Hard Rock or the Virgin to try to get my credentials for the AVN Awards show that I never went to, he saw me and he acknowledged me. He gave me like one of those, like, hi. And I'm like, okay. So it's like, if you really had these thoughts, motherfucker, why didn't you say them then? Why did you pretend to be nice, right? Then he comes back at me. All right, so this is where he made the mistake of like swinging back. And he goes, yeah, I wasn't really a good performer on your sets because I was creeped out by you. Like you were known as the producer that was like fucking all the talent and bringing them in the night before and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, now this is where haymaker time came in. All right. This dude was bitter at me because unbeknownst to me at the time, during AVN in early 2019, his girlfriend had sex with me. Yeah, she was a 20-year-old Spiegler girl that I'd shot 6 months before. I saw her walking through, you know, the whole, you know, casino area, and she had got my number. And literally, I'm about, you know, 100 feet away. Texts start coming in from her. She wants to hang out. Okay. Now, I don't know what it was about the Spiegler girls, but they all like were talking to each other, and one by one, they all just wanted to hang out with me. Whatever they were saying, it was fine. It was working out for me. Great. But I didn't know that was his girlfriend. I had no idea. So we hang out, have a good time, whatever. What happens? I see this dude at the Brazzers party, and he sees me. He goes, oh, I heard you hung out with so-and-so. Now, I'm not a dude to like talk about shit. So obviously she said something to him, right? And so he was bitter about that. And that's why he was creeped out by me. And that's why he couldn't keep his dick hard on my sets. Now, if you're going to call yourself a male talent, it shouldn't matter if I'm on the set with you. Your job as male talent is to have a raging hard-on and be able to use it, right? So like this whole thing of like, I was the dude like that was having sex with all the girls. I wasn't having sex with all the girls. I mean, just like the top ones and the hot ones. I mean, that's really what it was. And it was because I was searching for meaningful relationships within the porn industry. It wasn't like I was trying to get notches on my belt. It just wasn't like that. That wasn't my style. But yeah, it's like when I tell you, like, if you come at me, you better be prepared to like bring the fucking heat, because I've got the text messages. I actually saved them all because I'm ready to start posting them if I have to. Like, yeah, here's your girlfriend saying this to me while she was your girlfriend. Like, that's what was going down. So yeah, and he went away after that. Like his little balls shrunk up into little minerals, and his little dick got even more flaccid again. He doesn't have a little dick. I mean, he's a black dude. So it was like, you know, respectable, I guess, if it was hard. But yeah, I mean, and the thing is like this dude like shoots on his OnlyFans, and he shoots in the comfort of his home where he should be. He should not be on a professional set unless he's injecting his dick with Caberject and it's a fucking diamond cutter. Otherwise, stay at home. Now, yeah, that was the story about that one. And I had a lot of the industry giants like come to my defense. Veronica Avlov said something very nice. Kendra Luss said something very nice. Like, I've got a lot of the heavyweights that are actually going to bat for me, which is nice to see. You know, they're not of the younger pussy generation, but they are of, like, you know, of good caliber. But really, I don't know. Like, this was one text that I got, and I was thinking about like cutting together a low light reel of this guy, like cutting a reel of every time his dick went soft on a professional browser set. But she said Ricky Johnson was a POS who preyed on vulnerable girls and tried to fuck them on and after the scenes. Now this motherfucker is saying I'm the one fucking all the girls, right? All right, and she goes, I worked with him once, and he was a terrible performer. Never again. He wasn't even that good. He had one speed, and it was misdirected jackhammer. That's what she wrote. Now, this is a big star saying this. So it's like, dude, like, you should have just shut up and taken the compliment, and none of this would have happened. Instead, like, well over a couple 100,000 engagements from this Twitter fight. So thank you, Limpy Johnson, you dumb fuck. If you've got anything else you want to say, let's talk face to face and see what happens.
Did you ever see the movie Once Upon a Time in New York?
Yes, with De Niro.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Or Once Upon a Time in America. I think that's what you're talking about.
America. That's the one. Once Upon a Time in America. It was one of my favorite movies because you had the big Jewish girl on the top calling guys booby running a brothel. Okay, that was major, and I'm not being anti-Semitic. That was major Jew on Jew hate. So Ricky Johnson, you should watch that movie and see like Jews can fight and get down. So don't fuck with them.
No, I mean, dude, like he basically said, keep your name out of my mouth. My question to him was, first I screamed on Twitter, Ricky Johnson, Ricky Johnson, Ricky Johnson. Now what? Are you going to Will Smith my ass? Because I am bigger and meaner than Chris Rock. Those are my exact words. So, dude, like, you talk about keyboard warrior. Hello, like, what are you gonna do? Seriously. So, yeah, so I mean, I think a lot of people are hoping I go away and they don't engage me because this is what happens. Like, this is where I'm getting to the point where I am leaning into this porn heel role and I'm enjoying it.
You need to, because that's where it's at. I'd like to think I was the originator of that back in the 90s because I was leaning into naturally of being a dick. I'm still a dick though. And you have to embrace this because this is who you are. You can't fool any of us on here. I've seen your tweets and your stories. I'm like, okay, something's up with this guy, but nothing's wrong with it. It's just you're embracing your true self. I'd like to see what these comments are here in the chat. Retard is in the dictionary, so it's a word. Yes, the wrestling world is so pissed off that Brock Lesnar is back. I don't understand why. I think it's great. Breakup suck. Healing is needed. Got to move on eventually. I came back, so it's good. The wrestling.
Paul has a good question.
What is it? I notice the hottest women in these don't mind at all. Don't mind what? I think this is when we were talking about.
No, he said, did any of the women get frustrated on set with any of the guys? No altercations happen, Paul. Frustration, yes. It happens. Like if you're a dude that's marketing themselves as male talent and you're stepping foot on a browser shoot, you got to bring your fucking A game. Now, look, you're human. People are human. And you're going to have, times where you're not fully chub. I get it. But seriously, don't call yourself a male talent at that point. Don't. And there's a reason why I worked with the same 12 dudes over and over again because they were unflappable, man. They might have a bad day on occasion, but seriously, man, they were fine. And that's why you hire the same dudes over and over again.
But some of these guys look like little androgynous people.
Well, I don't know what the fuck. Yeah, I don't know what's happening in porn anymore. I really don't. It's like, it's their fucking industry to destroy at this point. I have thoughts about the porn industry and, I've had actually performers. I mean, this has happened multiple times because they're reaching out to me now because they want me to shoot some things for them. And I've been dusting off my camera and getting back on it. But the truth is this is like the porn industry that I was in, 5, 6, 7 years ago is no longer the porn industry that it is today. It's something else entirely. And I tell people, like, if you were already in the business and you earned your stripes by being in the porn trenches, by shooting for companies, all right, don't give away your brands by doing these collabs, which they fucking say, which is another annoying thing. Don't do content trades. Like, if you want people, listen, you want to take a dick on your OnlyFans, okay, here's what you do. You hire that dick and you make your content 100% exclusive so that they and your fans and anyone else that wants to see fresh content of you doing boy girl, they have to go to your OnlyFans. That is the boss move. You don't trade with like a fucking Kieran Lee unless you're a nobody talent that needs to get their name out there. If you already have your name out there, why on earth would you give it to some dude that just needs to feed their OnlyFans? It's the dumbest fucking thing I ever saw. So now what you have is you have some of these girls who literally, because this is what they have done, that's all they can do now. They have to keep fucking and keep fucking and keep fucking and keep, because that's what it is. Like, why not bring it all to your thing? That's the boss move. So I've told girls, I told this, she was in the porn industry at like 2014. I shot her a bunch of stuff, a pretty blonde girl, big boobs. And I said, do not do these trades. Like it'll be the death of you. So yeah, I try to guide them in the right direction. But I don't know. The other thing too is like, it's gross now. The porn industry is fucking gross now. Like, I mean, like sexual diseases. You can argue with me all day that, oh, we test. Okay. Have you ever heard of pylori? Right.
I'm sorry, what?
Pylori. It's a parasite that you can get.
Disgusting.
Yeah. No, I had creators tell me that they got pylori on porn sets, on collabs. And it's like, yeah, they don't screen for that shit. And you know what? The only way you're gonna find that out is if you take a stool sample. And then you have to be on antibiotics and like parasite killers. Maybe ivermectin works. I don't know. But they don't test for this stuff. And you get it from kissing, which happens. You get it from licking bung holes, which happens too. And you don't hear about this stuff. So you're looking at a dude that literally was doing backstrokes in the porn muck when I was in it. And I could tell you back then, we're all tested. It's all good. You couldn't pay me enough money right now to dip my toe into that nuclear fucking porn muck because of all the shit that is going around. And the reason why it's going around is because the talent pool widened with all this OnlyFans shit, and with everyone working with everyone. There were rules before. Crossovers stay on one side, trans and all that. Now everyone's fucking each other. People are on PrEP now. PrEP to prevent themselves from getting HIV, which is probably murder on your liver. Yeah. Like,
wait a second. Stop for a second. This whole thing you're talking about parasites, I never heard of anything. I mean, even in the 90s when we were shooting, we didn't have these problems. So I'm just trying to figure out what's the root of it. Is it because these girls are, going after, they're working with trannies? Are they working with crossover stars? Like,
it's just because everyone's a creator now. Okay, so the talent pool just widened up. And when it widens up, you're introducing a hell of a lot more things. Like a couple of years ago, there was something called Mycoplasma genitalium, which was more of like a European thing that made its way over here. That's why you had to start getting anal swabs, oral swabs, and you had to start testing for MGen. That was 3 years ago. Look, this shit becomes new and improved, okay? Especially when the talent pool widens. This is what happens. So, like, when people say they got into the industry 3 years ago, I'm like, why on earth would you enter this dying business? Seriously, like, it's not as juicy as it was. It's not nearly worth the time or the money that it was. And the best thing that someone can do if they have a brand is to protect that brand, and build that brand and reinvest in that brand, not by giving it away to people, but by building it up and making it 100% exclusive to them. That is a business move. Maybe I'm the dummy, maybe, but doesn't this sound like realistic and reasonable and smart?
It does, but you have to understand who's your audience. Like you're preaching to people who may not understand that, and you just want the quick to think that they're smarter than you. You know, it's like some lawyers that have friends that are non-lawyers, and the non-lawyer friends think they're smarter than the actual lawyers, and they're not. It's the same thing. What you're saying makes sense, but here's the problem. It's so many of these people with their OnlyFans and this content creation, and that is what's killing this. It's hard to build a brand when there are a million others out there doing the same thing, because where's the niche? Like, how do you differentiate yourself from everyone else that's doing the same thing? You can't. We no longer have an AVN magazine that's relevant. We no longer have these magazines and have that press machine churning like they used to. Now it's like a free-for-all. They've made it way too inclusive, right? I get one thing like, you know, diversity, but this is way too much. And in the case of someone like August Ames, here's the hypocrisy of the adult film business, or I should say the whatever the hell it is, this adult business now. They always preach about my body, my choice, right? Then why do they give August Ames a hard time because she didn't want to work with a tranny? Whatever.
Because they're fucking hypocrites. Yeah, hypocrites. I don't know. That's what it was.
Like, who started that whole thing with the online bullying, but they should be held accountable because she technically killed herself after being bullied.
Well, I knew her directly, and I was hanging out with her like even weeks before all of this happened, months before all of it happened. And she was dealing with depression. She tried to kill herself like 7 months earlier, and she was unsuccessful. And she was on her quote unquote happy pills. I mean, that's really what it was. And she was getting therapy. So I thought she was on the right track. You know, people want to try to find the reason why this happened to her. Depression is what happened to her, and this was just a trigger, and that's exactly what went down. I talk about it in my book a lot. I talk about my experiences with her. I do feel bad for her because, you know, I feel bad about that whole situation because she was in pain, and she was isolated. And look, you know, you've got a lot of these girls, like we lost another one, Kylie Page, that was like a month ago, to fentanyl. And, you know, like, this Ricky Johnson gave me a hard time because he didn't appreciate me, I guess talking bad about his porn community. It's not a fucking community. If it was a community, you wouldn't have people taking fentanyl to numb themselves so much that they don't feel anything, or you wouldn't have an isolated performer like August or Cagney Lynn Carter that kill themselves because they don't have a support system. What they do is they take meat of any kind, fresh, old, whatever. They drain it for whatever it is to suit their own purposes. And then once they're done with them, they forget about them. But when they die, they do make it all about them. They talk about all of these wonderful experiences, blah, 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 me. But they don't, and they wait for the next corpse to arrive so they can do it all over again. If you really want to help them, create some kind of support system for people within the industry, outside of the industry. Like, dude, I'm out here fending for myself. Fortunately, I've got a great support system. But the porn industry doesn't give fuck all about me, even before I decided to be a porn heel. Okay? They weren't there. They went away. They did. I didn't go anywhere. They did. And if I was a person who was isolated, I very well could have been a casualty like that. But I'm not like that. I'm different like that. And I do have a support system. So yeah, the porn industry really needs to do better. They really do.
I wouldn't even call it an industry right now. It just seems like a big free-for-all, and any and everyone is in it. They treat it like it's a big deal. It's not. How do you have 400 or 500 girls on a red carpet for AVN? That never happened before. Then you have someone like Dominique Simone stuck all the way at the end, all dolled up, like dressed to the nines. And these girls with their, their little Fashion Nova $20 dresses and half their asses hanging out to the front. Just everything is going downhill so much. I don't ever anticipate going to any one of those conventions ever again, especially after they had the FEMA set up a couple of years ago. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
They had the convention underneath tents outside.
Wow. Yeah, no, I have no desire to mix. When I was up there literally for 45 minutes trying to get my credentials to even go because I was nominated for my book, I was jumping out of my skin. I wanted to get the fuck out of there. I have nothing in common with most people in the industry. I never did, so that's why I guess it's so easy for me to goof on them, because I find it all so silly. And you know what? If they were to lean into it how I do, which is leaning into the bizarre and the awkward and the weirdness of it and the silliness of it, I'd be able to get along with a lot more of them. And there are some who are like that. There are. But for the most part, they take themselves so seriously and they get so butthurt when someone goes after them or goofs on them like I do. So, I have really no desire to do any of this stuff. Like the more I hear about it, the more I see tweets, the more I engage with these dummies sometimes, the more I'm like, man, if I had to shoot these people, I literally would blow my head off. I would. If I had to deal with these people day in and day out, I would want to off myself as well. Like that, I would be drinking. Like, I understand why directors drink so much, because they have to put up with this nonsense on a daily basis and they have to pretend that it's enjoyable for them. And it's not. I guarantee you.
Well, let me ask you this. And this isn't to be a bitch. Actually, no, fuck it. That would be so unjasmine, right? Listen, let me ask you this. Who in there? Okay, so when they're doing this tranny porn, right? Like trans having sex with straight women, and I'm not going to sit here and say a trans man going into whatever, transition into female as a woman. It's a fucking man, okay? Who wants to see that? Like, what was the actual demographic? Was there really a money-making market for it? And I wonder if that money-making market was, do you want to see a freak show? Did those actually sell? Did you?
No. It got big. It got big. I have a theory. I don't know if I'm correct, but I think that there is a big sect of the population that is gay or bi-curious or whatever, but they are ashamed about it. And this is kind of like the hack of it all. Like, looks like a woman, but has a dick. So, and that's like the bypass of it. That's my theory. I could be way off on this. Don't mark my words on this one, but yeah, it's very popular. It really is, and I don't know. It's not for me. That's for sure. Here's the thing. When I was in like the post-Brazzers phase and I was dealing with OnlyFans, the OnlyFans management company that I was working with had trans performers. Okay. And it was expected of me to shoot it. And I'm holding my camera and I'm shooting it. I swear to God, Jasmine, it was so awkward. Like, I was used to a big, robust man, opening up the woman for the camera, so I could see everything. This looked like two monkeys trying to fuck a football. It was so awkward. And it was like, I'm not seeing shit. And I'm thinking, I think I need to be done with all of this very soon, because, like, where the fuck are we going with this? Why am I shooting this? I am not the guy to shoot this, and that was it. So I did shoot it a couple of times and I was fucking baffled. I was legitimately baffled. I was most baffled when one of them popped, but nothing came out. Nothing. It was like, and like air. And I was like, wait a minute. Was that a pop? Because I didn't see anything. It was like magic dust came out. Like she was writhing and shaking and making cum noises, but there was no ejaculate anywhere. It was like the phantom pop. I had no idea what was going on. And I'm like, I am so confused right now. I don't think I can do this anymore. I just don't. And that was kind of it, like, how about we just give this to people who understand it? Because it's not me,
It was a big taboo thing back in the day. I believe that I probably would have been canceled. I'd probably be canceled now because of all the stuff I said. But I do remember we were in Brazil. Rob Black was shooting down there, and he went to some talent agency, if that's what you want to call it. And he got some tranny that was supposed to work with a girl in the scene, right? This gets better. So obviously, like I speak Portuguese, and the tranny didn't really speak English. This gets better, way better. So you see, the tranny sees who the girl is. The girl was cute, by the way. This is normal, biological, female, Brazilian porn performer. Cute. The tranny got picky and didn't want to work with her.
The tranny was a diva.
I told him, whatever you want to call. I said, look, who the hell are you to be picky? I mean, you're already confused about who you are. What are you, jealous? So I made the tranny cry. I wasn't like working at all that day. I just like was on the set because I went by there to get Rob's credit card because I was going shopping. And I was in Brazil on the company's dime. The tranny didn't want to work. Like they were there all day because of the one remark I made. I thought it was, I was being honest. Like, who are you to be that picky? Like, beggars can't be choosers. Sorry. I don't know. I know that was pretty rough. I really think I'd be canceled. But I love pissing people off back then because that's just who I was, right? I'd take shit. You'd have that dyke Felicia or whatever her name was. Oh my God, have you seen what she said in the press before? Could you read that? Bitch, you could actually read? Wow, you can read. Excellent.
I think the whole
together we would have like ripped things up really bad. We probably would have like sent people into mental hospitals back then.
Well, no, I was good at biting my tongue and just internalizing everything. Not anymore. Like at this point, it just comes out. But no, the cancel culture is gone. It's gone. Like the pendulum is swung back. Thankfully, it's at the point where, like, at this point, when I did an interview talking about the White Russian Marcus Dupree, I am doubling down and saying he got a fucking raw deal from back in the day where, like during the summer of 2020, when everyone was losing their fucking minds and, he got his contract canceled for Brazzers, I think he was a victim of the hysteria. If he truly was an abuser, if I thought he was an abuser, he never would have been on my set. The only thing that we knew about the White Russian Marcus Dupree was that you should pair him with people who love him or like him. Any gray area, don't do it because you are going to be asking for problems. And we learned that as we were going. But seriously, that dude was like not wanting to fuck anything up in his world at all. So I really don't see him as being an abuser. And I really hope me batting for him really doesn't blow up in my face by any of it. But, it's just that I never saw that in Marcus Dupree. I didn't. I saw a very loud, very energetic Russian who put all of his energy onto the set and onto the scene to the point where after he came, literally the dude would buckle like he took a punch to the face and was about to go down. That's like watching a dude like literally give everything his all to a scene. And you know what I call that? I call that work ethic. And if we're going to like critique people because they've got good work ethic, then I don't know what the fuck we're doing anymore because you're supposed to have good work ethic.
Yeah, it's very true. And I feel as though there are a lot of people who lack that, whether it's been childhood. A friend of mine right now has a daughter, 20-something, doesn't want to have a job. And it all started when she was 8 and they asked her to do a chore, like wash a dish, and she didn't want to do it. So now she's 24. She doesn't want to work, doesn't want to do anything. Dad's spending all the money on all these different bullshit things. She has all these certificates that won't do a thing. You tell me she just needs to get on disability somehow. That's just like a waste of life.
I got a question for you.
What?
I have a question for you.
Oh, yes.
Do you know Kieran Lee?
No, I do not. Am I supposed to?
You don't. Okay. Good for you. You're lucky. Well, he was one of the dudes that has reported me because of my videos on Instagram. There was a 2-parter. It was fucking brilliant. Like I had so much to unload on this dude. Let me paint you a picture. Okay. This was a British guy from across the pond. And around 2007, like there was a big dick war between reality kings before MindGeek owned them and Brazzers, right? And they were contracting all of the big dicks. And Brazzers had the Like It Big series, you know. Now, this motherfucker was hitting me up during an Eagles game on MySpace. Just that will date you of the time frame that we're in. Like, he's coming over, he wants to work. He was relentless in bothering me, to the point where I was like, fine, shut the fuck up. I want to watch my Eagles lose, because they were losing back then. They weren't Super Bowl champions twice over. And so I said, okay. And I'll tell you something. He was a great performer that day. He dropped his pants, and I was like, here's a guy we can put under contract that Reality Kings doesn't know about. And, you know, we can win the big dick wars. Okay. So I get him in the door, right? That was the worst mistake of my fucking life, because all it did was cause me pain and drama and headache in the years after that. And I'll tell you, like, they contracted him. They gave him 19 shoots a month. All right. He had access to all of our calendars, all of the producers' calendars. Now, his whole thing was, every hoe is a go, mate. Like, he wanted to fuck everyone. So what he would do is he would see who was on a calendar. He would see that they're working with someone else. He would say, I want to work with this person. I would say no, because shuffling around a 25 to 30 shoot like month, very difficult. And when I said no, what did he do? He went higher to me to the head office, and he would wear them down, and that's where it went. And this is what he would do to all of the producers, where all of them were like, fuck this guy. But he was under contract. Okay. Now, that wasn't the worst of it. Then it comes to the point where wherever he was in Vegas, he didn't want to stay at a hotel that was close to the studio. No, he insisted on the Palms place, okay, which was a good round trip, 60 minutes for one of my production assistants to be gone and come back. All right, so this is what he would do. If he got done early, he would mandate I would change his flight right then and there. Like, we're talking diva motherfucker, but that's not the worst of it. The worst of it is that after that point, I let this wolf into the henhouse. Now he's vying to be a producer. And so he's effectively taking work out of my hands and getting it into his hands. So it's like, all right, dude. So there was times where I literally wanted to drive to LA to beat the shit out of him. One time, he got his jaw broken on the soccer field by an opposing player because he was popping off. And the industry basically stood up and they gave a clap, a thank you for breaking this motherfucker's jaw because he's such a dickhead, right? So look, time goes by. I think, you know, me and him make amends. You know, that we have peace, everything's good. And I thought we were fine. But then when it came time to marketing my book, because, it comes time to market my book, I had a publicist, Lainey. That's how I got on your podcast way back when. And she was trying to get me on this fucking mouth breathing dude, Ryan Pomegranate or something. It's like a Pillow Talk or whatever, where all they do is like these dumb fucking girls talk about how many dicks they sucked, and it's like mindless mush. But it's very popular because that's what people want to hear, apparently. Now, she goes to him and says, hey, we want to have Vic Lagina on your show to promote his book. And this mouth breather, because he doesn't seem to be very intelligent, mentions Kieran Lee's name, saying something along the lines like, he should have given Kieran Lee a bigger room, which I didn't really understand what that meant. So basically, Kieran was fucking my shit up again. So now, as far as I'm concerned, we're at war. And that's why I did these videos. But him and this Ryan Pomegranate, basically, they take the company's butt cheeks, they spread them, and all they're doing is licking their bunghole. That's all they're doing. Both of them just want to be all about, you know, sucking the dick of ALO, whatever the fuck they are right now. So yeah, so I did a 2-episode drop on him. I recommend everyone go check it out because it really paints a picture of this guy. But yeah, he's a motherfucker. And the good news is, and I'll wrap this up, he is leaving our country to go back to England. Okay? Get the fuck out of here, you twat. Like, go. We don't want you anymore. Like, there was these videos online of this going away party for him, right? Never have I ever seen so many people in one room pretending to like someone. They don't like him. Everyone knows he's a fucking snake. Everyone knows that he's not a good dude, but they suck up to him because they hope maybe that'll give them work, and they were all pretending. So you're talking to this dude, like he's literally 10 years younger than me, and he looks older than fuck. He wants to say that he's like some kind of like British George Clooney, but the truth is, the only reason why people like him over here, girls, is because he's got a British accent, which they mistake. Yeah, they mistake for charm, really. But this, let's see him. Let's see him.
His wife's name is Kirsten Pierce. This loser?
Yeah, but he's gray as fuck right now. That was before the Botox and the hair transplants. Like, seriously, like, there's nothing natural about this dude.
Derby. That's where my friend is from, is Derby. I know that. Oh, now I see him with the white hair. He looks like an old man with some younger. Is that Ava Devine?
I don't know, but here's the thing, Jasmine. Here's the thing. I am 10 years older than him. Who looks older or younger?
You look way younger.
Exactly. Like, what the fuck?
Employee.
Yeah. I mean, like, look at this. It's like, dude, like, we all know Johnny Sins. Johnny Sins works out, muscular. Okay, Kieran Lee is like a fat, marbly mess. Like, he's just like, dude, do some fucking push-ups. Have some pride in yourself. Stop laying on your back when you do a scene. Like, stop being so lazy. You know. So the question I have is like, he has kids. Apparently, they're coming. But yeah, there's a funny story that a girl that I was hanging out with years ago that was friends with his wife. She told me this, that whenever Kieran would piss her off, he would take his toothbrush and like scratch it all over her butthole. And I just, again, industry clapping when they're hearing that, like, good, thank you, because he's a motherfucker. All right. Now I got that out of my system. I feel better. Thank you. Thank you for letting me get that off my chest.
No, you're like way hotter than him, please. He couldn't like be the shit below your shoe. Yeah, I mean, I see his photo. I've got to have a talk with Ava Devine and ask her what she's doing. Like, why would you work with that guy? It's like charity work at this point. So now that you're single, what's in store for you aside from going on your rants and putting together these amazing stories?
Well, the good news is because I got my mojo back and because I shed my bitch tits and my gut, I'm not going on the dating sites in Vegas. I think I said this last time. The only thing worse than a dude trying to date in Vegas is a woman trying to date in Vegas. I read a statistic that Nevada has more psychopaths than any state in this entire country. That is like a legit stat. So I'm not going on the dating sites. I am meeting women organically. Fortunately, they still find me attractive. They find me interesting. I am a published author that has interesting things to say. So I'm meeting women organically, but I'm not jumping into anything. I will tell you something though. What I am not going to do, like if some girl that I meet tells me that they're an influencer or an OnlyFans creator, I'm saying fuck no, because you know why? Not because they're that, but because it's so common. It's so ordinary these days, you know? And like the reality of it all is that a dude might find it intriguing for like a month, but then they're like, okay, I'm over this. And they're not going to want their girl showing their guts to the masses, you know? And the only dudes that are okay with that kind of thing, they're called cucks, okay? And cucks are generally laughed at and made fun of by everyone else, all these other dudes, you know? So at the end of it all, I have no interest in that. I think cucks like get support at some kind of like Cucks Anonymous. Like, hey Bob, how many dudes fucked your wife this week? That would be 6. How about you, John? Oh, 8. Oh, really? Good for you. Yay. Like, that's it. Like seriously. And the thing about OnlyFans, there's an end to this. It's not sustainable. So what are you going to do? Right? Unless you're like in the top 0.1% that's making hundreds of thousands of dollars each month and you're saving it and you're doing all that, what are you going to do after? And it's going to be really hard. Like here's some truth bombs, right? If you like, okay, we're not talking like, 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever. We're talking now. If you're like doing this on camera, I don't judge. If you're making money, great. That's good for you. But you also have to understand it limits you in a lot of ways down the road. It limits you in relationships because most of the time what I find is that, and this is like some of the girls I talk to say, like they were in the industry, they have a hard time dating because one, they're looked at as a novelty, and two, it usually gets thrown in their face. Like, oh, you used to do, yeah, see, exactly. And on top of it all, work-wise, like you really have to reinvent yourself to do something else because when your looks start to fade or when your fan base starts to drop or whatever, what are you going to do? Like, seriously, what are you going to do? So, yeah, that doesn't have any interest in me. What I would really like is someone who has just like a regular job. And as much as it's nice to have someone that's hot, that's great in bed, that is a good cook, that, contributes, the most important thing that I am looking for these days is that if I'm at my worst, if I'm low, if I'm sick, if I'm dying, that person is going to be there for me. That's really what all that matters. And that's really what was lacking in my previous relationship. It really was. I had all this nice topical shit, but really when it came down to the fact of when the shit gets hard, are they going to be there? Like I want a woman, like if this is the Old West and I'm about ready to be hung, I want my woman to be riding on a fucking horse, shooting and freeing my ass, and we're running off. Like that's what I want. There's this, I suggest you follow it. There's a Twitter account called IDF Babes. It's like Israeli women in the IDF. Oh my God. So fucking hot. Like Israeli women are so hot. And because they're in the army.
Yeah, they're hot. Oh yeah. Look at this.
They can fuck shit up. Like half of my, I have sends to like go to Israel, except for like everyone's firing missiles at them from all directions. So I think I'll hold off on that at the moment. But the truth is,
that's probably a good idea. I don't think, they're hot.
But yeah, Israeli women, oh, yeah. So I don't know. I'm just going to kind of do my thing. And yeah, I'm just keeping high standards these days. What about you? What's your story? Are you dating? What are you doing? I'm blathering here.
No.
You're not?
No.
So you're just rolling solo, eh? Okay. And very quiet about it, apparently. All right, well.
No, I'm busy with the wrestling, with Jugalo Championship Wrestling. Then, I decided to take my one-woman show back on the road. So I've just been rewriting that. Like, I'm busy with things. And then my little jewelry things. So I'm busy. And I, have other things I'm doing that are non-wrestling related and non, porn related. So I just have other things. That's the question. This woman that you want to, like, save you and all that, is she on your life insurance?
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, I mean, at that point, what's mine is hers. If she's willing to ride into town, shooting a shotgun to free my ass, yeah, she deserves to be on the life insurance policy. I could give a shit. She can cook me baked beans over a campfire at that point. You show that level of commitment, we're good. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm just gonna kind of just cruise, try to give some guidance. I am making moves. Like once this whole porn shit ends for me, which it will, and I think the industry will give a collective sigh when I am done making fun of them. They will. Well, I do have another book in me that has nothing to do with porn that I'm going to get working on, but I am working on the next phase. And if I get it, it'll be lucrative and it'll be fun. And I'll be traveling the country with my dogs doing it. So, yeah.
I like.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be that.
You're like the only person. I've not met you, and I feel like I know you, but like I've not met you, and it's the weirdest thing.
It's what?
It's the weirdest thing. Like I've never met you, except for that one time in the marina at the post office.
Well, you didn't meet me. I just saw you. You were sending a package or something.
Stuck up, but yeah, okay.
No. You had the face that like the face that said, "Don't fuck with me," because this was when like you were
getting eBay packages.
Sure, and this was when like the height of your popularity and everything, and I'm sure you were getting harassed and bothered. You know, I didn't want to be that dude. I didn't.
How do you know I didn't think you were cute?
Because you were looking at the postmaster. You weren't looking at me.
Oh my God, because they're collecting my
You
money.
didn't even know I was there. Like, that was the truth. That was the whole situation. I didn't want to bother you. I don't bother people. I just don't.
Anyway, Paul says, I love the photos of your IG post with your dogs, Vic, or your dog.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Yeah.
Fans.
Junior just sat down. He's got some gas, and I'm smelling it, and it's fun.
Yeah. It's just tough, and I'm very picky. And, you know, the last thing is I'm not going to date a broke guy. I don't go out with people that are broke. I just don't do that.
Hey, John J., thank you. He said voice acting and filming a regular movie should be on the table. Actually, it is. You know, part of the reason, too, why I'm doing like all of these like narration videos is like I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it, and people apparently like hearing my voice. Some say it's very soothing, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know, it's very nice to hear.
Soothing. That's why you can ask about mental health and give advice. And this is why you should like look into being a therapist or doing a whole narration on therapy for people, you know, who are fucked in the head. Not like my old insurance agent, like Michael Escura, who's the worst insurance agent ever. Like, avoid this guy like the fucking plague. Avoid him like the plague, because his theory is, oh, they'll just fix it in the back office. At 60-something years old, if you didn't get it right before, and you have to ignore people with policies because you think you have a bigger deal, again, you will never have that bigger deal, Michael Escura. Do not go to him. He's the worst insurance agent.
Yeah.
But I can find out one thing. If I call North American Insurance directly, they'll sell me the policy, like whatever. If I want to keep overfunding the policy, I could do that. If I want to get another policy next year, they'll sell me one. I just have to do the lab work. Actually, I think my lab work is good for 6 months. I might take out another policy in a couple more months.
Nice. It sound like me. I've got 3 life insurance policies.
Oh, really?
I do. Yeah, I got a LERP, and I've got like another $1 million of insurance that like. So yeah. So if someone whacks me, like, here's one thing I will tell you: I will never commit suicide. So if it ever looks like I committed suicide, you heard it now. I didn't commit suicide. Someone killed me. But if that happens, a whole chain reaction of events happens after that. So it's kind of weird how I set things up. But no, I will tell you something. This breakup has awakened something inside of me. The alter ego of mine is talking quite a bit. It's quite loud in my brain. People who have read the book kind of understand that. But yeah, I think the reality is that all of this happened for a reason. It was a learning experience. It was a growing experience. And it led me to reawaken this creative side of me to be able to do more, to figure out what comes next. And I'm very much looking forward to sharing whatever comes next as it starts coming out.
Hillary, I'm excited because Filthy, the rise and pending fall of Vic Lagina is an amazing Lagina. It's got some great stories. So I think, that's your key. And, you know, just your attitude in that book. You had a no holds barred, take no prisoner type attitude. That's what works for you. And you should embrace that. Like, you're doing it on your posts, and you should keep doing that. No one's going to bully you. No one's going to say anything to you. It's you. Plus, they did not see Once Upon a Time in America.
Yeah, well, no, I'll tell you something. The truth is I know how I conducted myself. I've been very open about my sexual diversity in the business. It was never about, using the job to get laid. The job just resulted in me getting laid. All of these opportunities, everything I put out there, there's nothing that people can say to me to try to cut me down. I know how I acted. I know what my behavior is. So a lot of people don't really have ammo on me, but I have a lot of ammo on people. I do. And a lot of it could either stay quiet or it could come out if you decide to swing at me, you know? So fuck around and find out. Like, that's where we are at the moment, you know?
That's really scary. And I'd be afraid of you to like use this stuff on people. Ricky Johnson and Karen Lee bang a fat chick.
Did that happen?
No, this is what he's saying. I think he thinks that would be like blackmail on them if you have it. Or maybe that's the next movie for them. And Chess, thank you for joining us, by the way. So that is the next video for them, I think, is Kieran and Ricky banging a really big broad, like the ones that you would expect to see in like some of these jean ads. I still don't like the jeans she wore in the ad, Sydney Sweeney, because they're too big.
I wasn't looking at her jeans.
I know, but the thing is, like, her ass, you can't see it. It doesn't emphasize her ass or her legs. You're looking at her tits. I get it. But the thing is, they should have like made them tighter.
Yeah. Oh, I did. I got into a fight with a I don't know if I can call her a performer, because when I did shoot her, she couldn't take a very small dick as a performer. But she was one of those pro-Palestinian Hamas holes, and I shut her down pretty quick. It was interesting, but it's fascinating to me. Like all of these people that have drank the Kool-Aid and are so convinced that they are right about it. And I'm at the point now where it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, to be honest with you, I see Israel as akin to Philadelphia Eagles fans. Okay. Nobody likes us and we don't care. At the end of it all, what's going to happen is Israel is going to destroy Hamas. They are going to be gone. And maybe, just maybe, there will be peace in that region, because the truth is, all of the neighboring countries that have tried to get rid of Israel have gotten their asses handed to them because they are bad motherfuckers. And they're at the point now, it's like, okay, we just have to accept the fact that Israel is not going anywhere. So now it's finished the job. People want to say anything else. I'm like, no, you're wrong. And I come back with history because I'm well versed in all of this stuff. I've learned it. And they're just gobbling up what they see on TikTok and what they see in the mainstream media, which it's propaganda, man. It's all propaganda. You have to use your fucking common sense here of what's going on. So, nope, I can't hear you. What happened?
I said Israel will always be safe because they have the Israeli Defense Babes, Israeli Defense Army Babes. So they'll be totally safe. They'll be in good hands.
Yeah.
But yes, I believe in that it is a lot of propaganda out there.
Let me turn this off.
You know, that's what the news does. It's been one big, I mean, these past 4 years have been super, are you there?
I'm here. I just, I think my headphones died, so.
Yeah, it's just these past 4 years have been very eye-opening for people. And, they know that there's a lot of close on out there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, no, I look at the people in the industry now, the younger generation who have really destroyed the porn industry, and I thank God that I worked my ass off, I banked my money, I invested in real estate to the point where once it was done, and I realized that the bullshit was going to go up and the money was going to go down, that it was time to leave, and I'm glad that I was able to have enough to live on. And now I'll just figure out what I want to do next. That's the truth.
I think you'll be great. And part of the whole process you're going through. So you're smart.
Thank you. Well, oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
So anyway, I want you to throw out your socials to everyone. I'm getting hungry. I've been eating all day. Except that it's just so horrible. I will never buy it again. Throw out your socials to everyone. Do not forget Filthy, the rise and pending fall.
Death.
Vic Lagina. Put your socials out.
Yeah, I have 2 Instagram accounts that'll probably be deleted at some point because Zuck the Cuck doesn't like what I have to say, apparently, and I get a lot of stuff. I get a lot of warnings. So there's Instagram at Vic Lagina, and at Filthy Vic Lagina. I am also on Rumble at Vic Lagina. No, at Filthy Vic Lagina. And my Twitter profile is at Vic Lagina. So, yeah, go there, enjoy the video, consume them. They're fun. I've got a bunch coming out soon where I rank the male talent.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Yeah, that they start dropping tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm busy at work, and my schedule's weird. Like I'll write it, and then I'll wake up and I'll record first thing in the morning before the sun is up, when my voice is nice and gravelly and relaxed and soothing and everything else. So,
I totally get it.
Yeah.
I listen to it just wake up. Yeah, I tried to run Rumble does not censor.
No, they do not. I don't know if how they are with titties and vaginas, but I don't put them on there.
It's more of a conservative crowd. So I don't know. But I don't think they're going to be. I mean, conservative people like ass and titties too. So they're gay. Yes.
All right. Well, the Rumble is at Filthy Vic Lagina. So if you go there, please follow, and you can see all the videos there as well.
I'll be looking forward to that. And until the next time.
Yes.
Stay in touch. And hopefully get these questions later.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. You got to figure out where. Just message me and let me know where you are regionally, and then I can figure out if I'm going to be around that area or not.
It'll happen. I'm telling you. It's in the sphere.
Sounds good.
Sweet dreams.
Peace. Have a good one.
You too. Okay, everyone. So, can everyone hear me? Is there still that echo? I hope not. Anywho, I will be at the Gathering of the Juggalos this year. It's a lot of fun. It'll be in Thornville, Ohio for Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And then I'll be at the Thornville show Tuesday night as well. Make sure you check out my socials, and brand new episodes of Crazy Train Podcasts start dropping again. This Wednesday, we have guest Sin Bodhi. Next week, we have guest Guar. So, yes, I appreciate all of you joining me. Thank you very much. And don't forget, stay cool. And most of all, the most important thing in this day and age is stay frosty.